Good afternoon. The three levels of Ting Jing. Exactly what are they? We have the outside, the middle, and the inside. Exoteric, mesenteric, esoteric. I will explain. Awareness. Ting Jing is a kind of awareness. In life, as in Tai Chi, in martial arts in general, we need to have some kind of awareness of what is happening around us in the immediate environment. If we look at animals, they have wonderful instincts. We call them instincts as regards to the awareness, as regards to their environment, potentialities of danger as well as other things, of course. For us, in Tai Chi, we want to develop this awareness, this listening to the environment around us, which can be very rewarding on many levels. I have heard a native Canadian express the idea that he himself and other native people have their own version of Wi-Fi. He said that when they walk through the forest talks to them and gives them information. They kind of listen to it and it speaks. This is a wonderful expression of external Ting Jing, let's call it that. Awareness, like an animal, as I said. So this is the exoteric aspect of Ting Jing, awareness. Now, in terms of martial arts, self-defense, when one is walking alone in a city, not even at night these days, one needs to be aware of potential dangers. They can be, anyone living in a modern city will know that it's not just a question of being mugged or assaulted in a physical way. You also have dangerous drivers, cyclists, courier cyclists who go everywhere sometimes without paying enough attention to pedestrians. And you have the phenomenon of young people cycling with their mobilettes and electric bicycles on sidewalks, and that could be a danger to an older person who's not light on their feet, and so on and so forth. So that's the external Ting Jing, listening to the environment, being awake, being alert, being now. If the mind is full and one is lost in one's thoughts, that function of awareness obviously disappears at that moment. So we need to try to be empty. And the idea, the notion of emptiness is very profound in Tai Chi. It's pure Taoism. This is a big subject that I will address at some point in the future. So that's the external Ting Jing. Now we have the internal Ting Jing that I think I've discussed elsewhere, but I will go into more detail now and give you an example. The first internal Ting Jing is to develop the listening. Ting means to listen. Jing is the force of listening, the energy of listening, to listen inside, to listen in different ways. Now here we're specifically inside the body. We can put our awareness, our Ting Jing, our listening ability into the body and connect with sensations and then become conscious of them. And bit by bit, that skill becomes a skill that becomes more and more proficient through time and conscious effort, and allows us to penetrate the mysteries of some mysteries of the inner body. Now, I don't want to go too far with this right now, but here's an example. In Tai Chi, on the beginning level, there are two things that are fundamental to train. In practicing the form, one naturally trains the memory, because the postures, in our case, it's 108 postures that are all connected up. This is a challenge on the level of memory, but one that we need to address. So the memory is the first thing on the mental level, but on the physical level, and here we come to the Ting Jing, we talk about the separation of substantial and insubstantial. What does this mean? It means that the body, apart from the first motion and the last motion, everything else we do in Tai Chi, in the forms, in the push hands, happens on more or less on one leg or on one side of the body. The rooted side is substantial and the unrooted side is insubstantial. So when you begin, you take a posture, it is imperative to feel where is the center of your center of gravity and to shift it forward or back, side to side, depending on the posture that you're practicing. In other words, the weight should not be in the middle. If it's in the middle, we call that double weighted. It means you cannot move without first transferring the weight, the center of gravity, onto one leg, and then you move. Okay, this is not practical in terms of martial arts. So, in Tai Chi, one of the great, wonderful things about Tai Chi is that we separate the substantial and insubstantial. Now, this is the beginning of feeling inside of your body, because some people have a difficulty like this. I ask them sometimes, where's your weight in a posture? And they're not sure. Most of the time, it's in the middle. So we have to push it forward, push it back, side to side, to get the right feeling of substantiality and insubstantiality. So this is Ting Jing. That's the beginning. Later on, we can go into a more sophisticated awareness of different parts of the body, and eventually even deeper inside, although there's a limit as to how far we need to go. Let's not forget that all the instinctual processes of the body, normally, when they're normally functioning, they do not need the intervention of the conscious mind. They've been doing their job for millions of years, or however long man has been on the earth. So that's Ting Jing, exoteric and esoteric. Now the middle one, which one can call mesenteric, is more specifically for direct contact with an adversary or an opponent, or we don't use the term usually enemy in Tai Chi, because we don't want to see someone as being an enemy, but as a possibility for transformation. So when we make contact with another body in space, usually we contact, we parry, we touch an arm, or it could be even the torso, or even a leg in theory. Any part of the body, we immediately have a source of information. This can be trained, this can be practiced. I know it's hard to believe, but in a small part of a second, it's possible to garner a lot of information. And from this, we act. So what kind of information am I talking about? Well, let's say I make contact with an incoming blow, and this is going to give me, at that moment of contact, I'm going to be able to feel the person's force, feel the direction of the person's force, the quality of the person's force, the length of the person's force. Is it a short force? Is it a long force? Is it a medium force? And so on and so forth. And then respond according to Tai Chi principles. So that's Ting Jing. 3 levels. Awareness outside, environmental awareness. Inside, corporal awareness. Well, I'm not sure that's the right word, but inside, in the skeletal frame, the muscle system, feeling where we are, which parts of the bodies one can communicate with, eventually, hopefully, the whole of the body. And then the Ting Jing in between, which is the one in which we use when we contact an opponent or a partner, if you wish. So that's Ting Jing, the art of Ting Jing, or the science perhaps. And I hope that this clarifies this very important subject, and that you can get to practice it. And if you do push hands practice, you will develop quite quickly this feeling with contact with someone and knowing where their force is coming and going and so on and so forth. So please, if you can get to practice push hands, do so whenever and with whomever you can. Okay, so that's all for me for now. I wish you a wonderful end of your day.